To make your fruit flan, we are going to do the whisking method. So we have got in the bowl our eggs and our sugar, and we're going to use electric whisk to mix the two together. Now in my bowl I have the sugar and the eggs, and I'm going to beat these together. You keep going, beating it together until the eggs have expanded with the air that you're whisking in, okay? And you keep doing this. It doesn't contain any fat in this recipe because it's called a fatless sponge. You just literally got the sugar and the eggs at this point. And you keep whisking, you'll see lots and lots of bubbles developing. And you keep going until you're able to find it's thick and it's expanded. And then there'll be a little test that I'll show you shortly what to do. When you get to this stage, it almost looks like melted ice cream, you need to do the ribbon test. Now for the ribbon test, you need to lift up the beaters and you see that it leaves a trail beneath you. So if I was to do my initials, which would be J, by the time I finish the J, I could still see the mixture left in the bowl with the trail. So again, if I see the pattern, you can still see the pattern sat on top of the mixture. It doesn't dissolve and disappear completely. That's what you are looking for. If you can see that trail, then you know that you're ready to go to the next stage. The next stage, you need to sieve into the bowl the flour. And the reason why we are sieving the flour in is because we want to remove any lumps in the flour, but also add as much air as possible into the cake mixture. Now you can either use a metal spoon or a plastic spatula for this stage, but we are not using electric whisk anymore. And what we're going to do, we're going to do the figure of 8, and we're going to fold in the flour to our cake mixture. Quite quickly, but very gently. So down through the middle, over, down through the middle, over. And we keep going like this until all the flour has been mixed in. Being really careful not to beat the mixture because we don't want to knock all that lovely air out that we've put into our cake mixture already. So we're going to keep going like this, really gently folding in all that flour until you can't see any more flour left in your cake tin, in your cake bowl, sorry. The cake tin will be provided for you by school, but you will notice with this flan tin it has a fluted edge. It also has a raised bit in the middle, so that's with the section when we tip it out, you'll put your fruit and your quick gel in. We've also got a greaseproof paper in the middle to help stop it sticking. So we're going to pour the cake mixture into the tin. Make sure you scrape all the bits out of the bowl, you don't want to leave anything behind. And then very gently, we need to just spread it over to the sides, get an even coverage of the cake mixture. Please don't bang the tin at this point, because if you bang the tin to spread it over, it will knock all the air out. So that now needs to go into the oven, and that will literally take about 10 minutes in the oven to bake. For the topping of your fruit flan, you need to have a tin of fruit. It can be any fruit you choose. It can be in juice, or it can be in syrup, or it could be fresh fruit. If it's a tin fruit, you need to pour it through a sieve into a jug. Okay, so the jug collects all of your juice at the bottom. Depending on what fruit you are using and what the fruit in the tin is in, will depend on how much you need for your next part of the practical. So it's always best to check the back of the quick jar packaging, or check with an adult first of all if you're unsure. If you're using fresh fruit, you will need a tablespoon of sugar and 200 millilitres of cold water. If you're using fruit juice in a tin, then you need 100 ml of fruit juice and 100 ml of water. If you are using fruit juice in in syrup, then you will also need 100 mils of syrup and 100 mils of water. You only need the sugar if you're using fruit juice or fresh fruit. So in my saucepan I have got sugar because I'm using fruit juice. I've got the quick jar packet going in now. Make sure it is quick jar and not jelly that's going in. And then I'm going to add in 100 mils of the juice and 100 mils of water. Once you've added all of that in, you then need to put it on the hob and bring it to a boil until all the powder has dissolved. It changes colour and it thickens. You're looking for lots of bubbles. At that stage, you know that the quick jar has come, is ready and is able to be then moved to the next stage. Okay, once your sponge is done and you've taken it out of the tin, you need to remember to remove the greaseproof paper on the top. Otherwise that won't be very nice if you eat that in your food. You're then going to place your fruit into the middle of your cake. Now you don't want to overload the amount of fruit because you need to put your quick jar on top. Now to test if your quick gel is done, you can take a spoonful and you can pour it onto your cake and you can see if it doesn't seep through. If it doesn't seep through, then you know that it's ready to pour the rest of your quick jar on. So using a spoon, we can then spoon the quick jar over the fruit to cover it all. Now as this sets, it will go like a jelly and it will make it into one complete flan. And there you go, you have your fruit flan.